Good morning from Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. Apparently that's what you're supposed to say. Anyhow, I am starting from a park that is just on the outskirts of Athens. It has been one of those days where I had good intentions to get started earlier, but for whatever reason, everything took longer, or I had to do it twice because I kept making small little mistakes. Just hopefully one of those days that improves, because it can't get much worse. Again, these weren't catastrophic events. They were just little things that just kept adding up, and now I am an hour and a half later than I wish it was. So I have another 50 miles mapped out that I borrowed from another Ride with GPS user. Looks to be another flat one. Also looks to be not too windy, just enough. I don't know if I'm in a little valley here, but I can hope for as little wind as possible. I will let you know what I see along the way, and when I get back, I'll tell you what I thought. So glad that's over. Not my favorite. No, not my favorite. But we'll talk about it. First of all, I would like to thank Mark Carlson. Your text message, I needed that with 10 miles to go. The body was willing, but the mind was a little weak at that point. So thanks a whole bunch for that. And a special thanks also to Mike Weber, who called me randomly, and I had just a couple, 2-3 miles left to finish up, and he chatted with me while I pedaled those last few miles, which was amazing. Getting to, because I haven't talked to Mike probably since we moved out of Fort Collins. It's been a while, but we're friends on Strava. I see his rides all the time. He's one of those people that's inspirational on a bike. So thanks Mark, thanks Mike. I needed that, because yeah, today I might have found that I'm cracking just a little bit. Maybe I've been alone too many days in a row. Maybe it was, I really did not like this ride today. And it wasn't necessarily just all mental side. The course, it just lacked some personality. At one point, I was even thinking that I'm just gonna record all of the boring crap and put it together so you could actually see just how dull this course was. And there was one section with the tar. It was 2 to 3 miles of that on the road, where the road had gotten some spider cracks and way too many to try to individually seal. And I guess you don't want to just spread tar all over the entire thing. So they just did that zigzaggy pattern that you would do with paste or glue when you were in kindergarten, grade 1 arts and crafts, right? Like it was, and riding over it was obnoxious, right? So not good for the mental side either, but laughable now. I'm glad that I can laugh about it now, because yeah, I was finding how deep my mental reserve was today on this ride. Just gathering myself for a minute. That was, yeah, that was tough. Legs were there. Bike is acting a little funky. I mean, the shifting isn't as crisp. There's some odd pinging that's happening erratically, and it's echoing around and off all of the carbon fiber elements. So, you know, identifying it on the road is crazy. The power meter, I didn't sync it before I left. Didn't realize until there were, I don't know, 5 miles to go. So there was that. It's not that I needed the power data. I wasn't even looking at it all day, but I would have liked to know that from a fatigue standpoint. So I've had better days. But enough about me. Let's talk about what I rode today. So today was 50 miles. That was out and around just outside of Athens. I stayed in Athens last night. Came out to this park, which was about 15 minutes at the most, but I mean, it was like a weird 15 minutes of driving. Some lazy lanes, neighborhood roads to get to this little pocket park, and went out and around 50 miles. Clearly there is some organized ride that uses a big chunk of what I rode today. I kept seeing these arrows in diamonds, and they were different colors. There was, I believe, a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one. Maybe it was other colors, but they kept crossing over. So I'm assuming that those 3 colors indicated 3 different courses, 3 different distances, or maybe 3 different laps. I really don't know. But I kept seeing them, and I was on the course for a while, and then my route would divert, and then I'd come back and make another turn, and there would be those arrows again. So I'd be curious to see if I could find that route and compare it, because it might have a little more personality than what I did. Also, there was a little bit of a swirly wind out there today. Again, the flag is dead still. I think the flags in Georgia are broken. I think they're different, because I made 3 right-hand turns at one point, and I was in a headwind 3 times. I mean, it doesn't work that way. There was one time where I did get a nice tailwind, but then I crested a hill and it turned into a headwind. So I don't know what was going on out there today. From a safety perspective, super safe. There were maybe 1 or 2 roads out there where you had to share the lane with vehicle traffic, but very, very little, very, very little. So extremely safe. Just a lot of metronomic pedaling. So for me, rating this course, everything starts with 3 stars, and you earn stars for being dynamic, interesting, or fun, or all of the above. And you lose stars for being unsafe, boring, and what's the other thing? The road conditions, right? If the roads are crap, you know, we'll can't give you a bonus star. So this route is, I really want to say it's 2 stars, but because the roads were so safe and because the route was so easy to follow, I'll say that this is just a neutral 3-star course that I never will come back and ride ever again. I would encourage you to hook up, connect with somebody from the area in Georgia and find out where to ride, because this was not it. All right, I'm off to Alabama. Talk to you tomorrow. Ride number 36. That tested me mentally. 36 in the books, 14 to go.